Welcome to Countryside Stove and Chimney. Thank you for viewing this presentation on the low-pi Endeavor wood stove. The Endeavor is a medium-sized stove that has the ability to heat up to 2,000 square feet. Let's start by looking at the design of the Endeavor. This stove has a classic step-top look with a good-sized cooking surface that gets up to about 900 degrees Fahrenheit. Notice the door design. Extra heavy hinge pins, heavy door handle assembly, and on the back side of that there's a full solid brass cam that'll mold the door to the stove for a good seal. Next, let's look at the glass. The stove has a great air wash system that keeps the 5mm thick ceramic window crystal clear. The Endeavor's firebox holds an 18-inch log that's loaded from front to back, not left to right. So when you open the door or when your wood settles, you do not have to worry about the wood falling out or making a mess on your hearth. The high efficiency of the Endeavor comes from the secondary combustion system of the stove. The stove has 3 stainless steel air tubes that redirect your combustion air to the top of the stove where your smoke is trying to leave. And when the oxygen hits the smoke, it ignites, and that's where you gain about 15 to 20% more heat generated off burning that smoke than off burning the wood itself. The Endeavor also has, it's very simple to operate. It has 2 air controls. It has what's called the bypass damper, which is located on the right-hand side of the stove. When I close this, it now makes the smoke work to get out of the stove. They call it a bypass because when it's open, it just bypasses the technology of the stove and all your smoke and your gases just go up the chimney. Now we're going to start where we keep them in the box for heat. Next, you have your air control. All the way out, feeds the air right underneath the stove or right underneath the wood. That's why you see the fire going as hard as it is right now. If I take this and push this in, it now redirects my oxygen to come out the top of the stove. Now it ignites that smoke and the gases, and that's where we get our most efficient burn and our longest burn time. The stove has a 3-sided convection chamber to it. So when all this is going on, a lot of your heat will get caught in the convection chamber. And when I put my hand here, I can feel the heat driving out of the stove with the blower in the off position. I turn the blower on, it really drives the heat out, and the stove, that's where you get your maximum efficiency. With that convection chamber, you also get a full heat shield that comes already installed on the stove, which allows me to install the Endeavor up to 4 1/4 inches from a cedar, drywall, paneling, whatever you happen to have in your house. Your clearances are very small. The stove, the low-pi Endeavor, is also available for the 30% tax credit. So the stove reaches the efficiency set by the government. It's good for 30% back on your taxes from the stove, the piping, and any labor, floorboard, anything you need for your installation of the stove to be up to code. Thank you for viewing the presentation on the low-pi Endeavor, and I hope to talk to you soon.